Growing up with a covert, or vulnerable narcissist father is confusing, creating children with low self-worth and issues with codependency, among other things. But it doesn't have to be a life sentence. Here are 3 ways to reclaim your life from your narcissistic father, build your self-worth, and reclaim your autonomy. 1. Accept that he won't change. Firstly, it's important to realize that your dad's narcissism isn't going anywhere. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental illness that even intensive therapy isn't going to fix. Due to the very nature of NPD, he does not have the ability or the desire to drastically change anything about himself. For his psychological survival, he must live in a delusional reality, where he believes himself to be perfect, special and superior. He is completely blind to his own faults because that would mean having to admit that his self-perceived superiority is nothing but a fictitious story. If you try to kindly bring any of his flaws to his attention, you will be met with attacks and abuse. Any evidence of his imperfections must not be allowed access to his false reality because otherwise, his whole charade will come crashing down. And that's a fate worse than death to a narcissist. 2. Set your boundaries. If you want to still maintain some kind of relationship with your narcissistic father, despite accepting that he'll never change, you will need to alter how you interact with him moving forward. This means setting clear boundaries on what behavior you will no longer accept from him. Taking back your power and not allowing him to make decisions about your life is one example. Or no longer being spoken to in a cruel and demeaning manner might be another. Figure out within yourself which of your father's behaviors you won't tolerate anymore. Then, every time he displays one of those behaviors, you can let him know that it's not okay and you won't be sticking around if he continues with it. The consequence could be you ending the conversation if he tries to take over and control your decision making. Or, it might be you walking out the door if he is rude and insulting. Your covert narcissist father will not like you setting boundaries because that is effectively you saying no to him. Setting boundaries with a narcissistic father can be a lengthy process. You can fully expect that he will continue to push through and disrespect them. The most important thing is to hold firm and follow through on your repercussions every time he treats you disrespectfully. Over time, he will learn that you mean business and that those behaviors won't fly with you anymore. And lastly, 3. Heal yourself. The most important thing you can do is to focus on your own self-care and healing, after a childhood of narcissistic manipulation and abuse. Therapy is highly recommended, as well as focusing on things that help to build confidence and self-worth within yourself. It could be taking up a new hobby that you've always wanted to try. Or even changing your appearance to better reflect your own identity, rather than who your father expected you to be. It's very common for children of narcissists to end up in narcissistically abusive relationships as adults. You end up being a perfect target for narcs since you've already got low self-worth and are primed to please others for your own survival. To be truly narcissist-proof, you need to heal your inner wounds. Narcissists operate by targeting and triggering your wounding so that they can have power over you and extract energy, also known as narcissistic supply. When you heal your inner wounding, there is nothing left for any narcissist to trigger you with. Finding a good therapist is one route, which is highly recommended. A daily self-care routine is also essential, whatever that looks like for you. After all of the years where you've had to put your narcissistic father first for your survival, now it's time to take your energy back and pour that all into yourself instead.